It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game on this Thursday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, the reporter, Nick Keyser on the ones and twos, back at the studio. Hope you are staying dry, staying safe. Obviously, it has been a pretty bumpy, I guess is the best way to put it. Last few hours, overnight. I think nobody got a lot of sleep last night in our area, but we're here to entertain, but also hopefully keep you safe and everything.
And informed. Safe and informed. I will tell you, and I hate bringing this up, this is eerily reminding me of May 1st, 2010. And you all know what happened then. That was the flood that just Saturday and Sunday just wouldn't stop. And then when it stopped finally Sunday afternoon, we had no idea what was about to happen. And so this is going to be like 3 or 4 days, right? I mean, I think it's going to like till Saturday or something. So just be careful out there. And look, all like the Johnny badasses on the road who try to drive 90 miles an hour, especially coming down Lebanon Road this morning, don't do this. Just be cautious. There are guys just blowing by me on the road. I'm like, stop doing this. So be careful.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you're not being safe for yourself or anyone else out there.
No, not at all.
Just slow down. Just take time. Kudos to a lot of the schools in the area that either just said screw it and closed today, or at least delayed and went in early. My mom's a teacher. Her school went in late. I said early, went in late. I'm on maybe an hour and a half of sleep, like most people.
Right.
So the brain's not functioning quite right today. But
you're here. You're safe.
I'm here. Kudos to our team. We're probably one of the only local stations in the market that when weather gets like this, we go into weather coverage with a partnership with Fox 17. Everybody else was in network programming, and we had weather across our 6 stations. And so, but somebody has to run that. So kudos to our man Brandon from our team that literally worked 2 shifts and stayed all night to make sure that everything was good. So we'll keep you updated on things throughout the show. We will talk sports and have fun. Fox 17 reporter Madeline Nolan's going to join us at 9:30. She's been out all morning, so she'll kind of let us know what's going on. If you want to weigh in on what it's like in your area, did you get any damage? It was basically started at midnight and then moved into our area probably around 2 a.m. and it was just bam, 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 bam after that. I mean, I heard a swirling wind go over my house and, definitely talk to God for a second.
Yeah, I should have. Also, shout out, I know they do it all the time, but all the meteorologists and all the stations. Yeah. I mean, good Lord, they just work nonstop. And I'm sure the phone calls came in from people like, can you put Matlock back on or whatever it is? No, we're not. We're doing coverage. There's bad weather coming through, multiple tornado warnings. You'll get your Matlock when you get your Matlock. So just shove it for a while. I hated those phone calls, man, when I worked in news. They came all the time. People complaining about, well, I'm in Clarksville and who cares about Westmoreland, what's happening down? I was like, stop it.
Yep.
Immediately. So they were on all night long, man. I think I went to bed and I woke up and I saw Katie Morgan. I was like, goodness. Just all night long doing that.
Well, what's interesting is when I kind of started in this, I worked overnights, but our owner was, very adamant that if storms or whatever was coming through, we were going to be in some sort of weather coverage. And, I didn't quite understand that of like, well, yeah, but it's in Clarksville. It's not here, but we reach in Clarksville.
Right.
And, his whole point was, you save one life, it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
That's it. There's no discussion. And it's like, okay, yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. So that's why we do it. And, if you're one of those people that gets mad about hearing weather coverage, then I don't know what to tell you.
They're everywhere. They always do get that. So it's not stopping raining. And again, that's just
no, literally it had eased up a little bit. Then I got downtown to come to Omni. We're at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes today. And the bottom fell out. I mean, it just started picking up again. But like last night, I know like West Tennessee got hit pretty hard. The Fairview area, I felt like had to deal with a tornado, literally the same path. I don't think it touched down, but a tornado warning, get into your safe place like at least 3 times. There was one point where it had gone through the west side of town, and I was like, all right, we're good. And then I kind of heard it has a sound, right? Like you hear the wind swirling, they say it sounds like a train. And I kind of started to hear that, and I was like, what in the world? And then about that point, they're on the TV going, West Nashville, get to your safe place. Like there's one right.
Let me tell you what. I don't know if there's a scarier sound on the planet than a tornado horn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't when I heard that this morning, I got out. I'm scared to death. And thankfully, I was about Donaldson. We were okay. It goes back to the movie War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise when the aliens come and the tornado sirens start going off. Scares me to death. So when I hear that, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, because they changed the sound to like it's literally almost sounds like the red alert on the Starship Enterprise. Like it gets your attention, like a doomsday horn or something.
That's it, man. And I'm like, am I getting raptured? I hope so. I'm not sure. I hope I am. God, I hope I am. But that's just a terrible sound. But anyway, it's just I didn't see any massive damage. I was looking on the news stations so far, so hopefully I'm correct in all that. And then obviously no loss of life as well. But there's more coming today and tomorrow. It just oh man, never ends.
Well, that's why we're here. So we will keep you informed, keep you safe, all those things, but also keep you entertained.
Yeah, what is that Fox 17 has? Alert, informed, protected, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, but what you said, like, shout out to all the meteorologists. I'm a nerd, and so I was flipping through all of them last night, and they're all talking about the same thing in the same area. But I kind of want to see how everybody else does it. But whether it's Fox 17 or 5 or 4 or 2, any of them. The guys from Nashville Severe Weather, which has really come on in the last several years.
Yeah,
I mean, they do a great job on their YouTube. I know Keezer got on TikTok and was out in his backyard.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
So
should have got an alert for Keezer on TikTok in his backyard.
Keezer, how are you?
I'm doing good, guys. Yeah,
good.
Glad to hang out with y'all this morning. No, I wasn't on TikTok, but I did hear all the end of the world tornado sirens going off this morning. I couldn't go back to sleep either.
Yeah, it was something.
Keezer, I want to see you in your backyard looking like Noah, like a big staff.
There is a hill, and I'm sure I could ride down the ark. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
You could do that. That's right, man.
That'd be funny with the dogs. Be good for sure. So 615-737-1025. You can weigh in. Let us know how things are in your area. Our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We are live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, where we are every Thursday. And I will say it's not quite as busy in Kitchen Notes as it usually is.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. And that's but still, I mean, in the downtown, the traffic was no problem getting in there.
Yeah.
But somebody sent me a note and said, funny about the tornado siren being the scariest sound around. Second to your mom saying, we need to talk.
Oh, or I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yes, that's the one. It's like, all right, I'll take that tornado siren all day, every day, other than over the. Yeah, I'm really not happy with you right now.
Robert said West Tennessee got it horrible. I've never seen it like that last night. It was pretty damn scary. I've seen several funnels. Luckily, Camden is in a valley, and they didn't touch down, at least where I was anyway. Sadly, other people were not so lucky. It did. It came, and the crazy part was, usually there's, kind of a defined line. It's like a straight line. This one was more diagonal, and they call it training. And I mean, it was just the same path the whole time.
Look at you. News from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. They've canceled April 5th season opener due to unfavorable weather forecast. In fact, due to unfavorable weekend weather forecast, the season opener scheduled for April 4 and 5 at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway has been canceled.
Yeah.
Opening weekend will now coincide with the U.S. Legends Spring Nationals, Thursday, Saturday, April 17th through 19th. A lot of people will go to that, go at the fairgrounds this weekend. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, like you said, we're going to have probably the whole weekend of this. So I mean, today, I don't think there's any warnings right now. Keyser can kind of let us know if any of that. I mean, flash flood. That's the other thing. Be careful with the flooding. Especially when it gets to be night. But don't be a hero. If you see something, it doesn't look that deep. It might be. So just be careful.
Chase, turn around, don't drown, Bubba.
Yeah, turn around, don't drown. That's it. David and Dixon, not much wind damage in Dixon, but may need to borrow Noah's Ark to run my mail route the next couple of days. Lots and lots of flooding in our area. 2916 says, glad you both are A-OK. You're the man, Chase. Thanks for all you do for the station, and is telling me to hire somebody full-time. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Seriously, thank you very much.
Yeah,
we do it because we love it.
Yeah, we will. And now it stopped raining.
Yep,
it was monsoon a minute ago. Now it stopped raining.
It'll do that. We'll we need a official meteorologist for the show. I mean, usually it would probably be Dr. Crane because like knowing him, he probably has like a weather rock or something. But
yeah, we're too early for Katie Morgan because she
was up all night. So
all night.
Yeah.
And then she goes home to screaming twins. So no sleep there. I don't know. We need some good old boy to call in.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
Official meteorologist.
Like I said, Matty Nolan and I'm having to take a second to get my thoughts going. So bear with me on that. Matty Nolan from Fox 17 will join us at 9:30. Greg Wyshynski, his usual visit at 10 o'clock, talking some hockey with him. Alex Ovechkin is knocking on the door of history. So we'll talk about that and much more today. It's Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We're presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 1025, 1063. They came. I think of The Simpsons every time I hear this. Here on this Thursday, he's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Joe, there has been a trade in the National Football League.
Okay, let's have it, Bubba.
Involving a quarterback.
Oh, okay.
The Dallas Cowboys have acquired quarterback Joe Milton from the New England Patriots in exchange for a 7th-round pick and a they've acquired a Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick in exchange for a compensatory 5th-round pick.
That's a whole lot of nothing.
So I guess Cooper Rush is going to Baltimore, and the Cowboys have acquired Joe Milton. So, Vols fans, any dreams that you had of the Titans deciding that Joe Milton would be their answer, it's not going to happen.
Dang it, Bobby.
What did the Patriots get for this?
New England is sending the Cowboys Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick in exchange for a 5th-round pick.
Okay. All right. Well, wow, he goes from buried on the Patriots depth chart to being number 2 right now.
I guess, yeah.
And Dak always gets hurt, so good luck with Joe Milton launching bombs out of Jerry's world into neighboring states, Arkansas and Oklahoma and Louisiana.
Yeah. So not a big trade, obviously, but I figured I'd mention it because Vols fans live in this world where it's like all their quarterbacks are going to be Hall of Famers. So
Patriots fans hate Joe Milton. You know why, right?
Why?
Because he threw the touchdown pass in the last game and won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not happy with that. And Milton came out and said, "What am I supposed to do? Throw an interception?" And I'm 100% Joe Milton on this.
Vrabel probably walked in and heard that and said, "Hey Joe, I'm Mike Vrabel. Your ass is out of here."
Yeah, right. So good for him getting out of there. What's the third team guy supposed to do? Sit on his butt and not play hard? I mean, that's just ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, and he was never going to see the light of day with Drake May anyway.
No,
ever.
No, and then look, he's not a starting quarterback, but he can be a good backup.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at Tim Boyle.
Sure,
10 years in the league or however long he's been in the league. Yeah, to do all that.
So there you go. I mean, he goes and backs up Dak in Dallas, and
be starting by week 4 because Dak will be injured.
Probably. You never know.
Do that. I was thought your reaction told me when you told me to begin this was there's a trade in a quarterback, and if it had been Will Levis, you would have been, oh my God.
I could have sold it though.
You could have gone crazy on that.
I could have sold it. Of like, we have a trade to announce.
I still don't think if it's not Jacksonville, nobody's trading for Will Levis. You all seem to think that this guy has got some sort of gas left in the tank. We saw it. He was terrible last year. Terrible.
I mean,
nobody wants that. Do you want that?
I don't want that. I want somebody else to. I want to trick somebody else into wanting that.
You're right. You want a quarterback falling down is going to just flip the ball out to a DB and run it back for a touchdown. Still one of the worst plays in Titans history.
Can you imagine Borgonzi or whoever calling a team and going like, "Hey, we'll give you Will Levis. You give me like a 5th or a 6th-round pick." Well, what happened there when he kind of flipped that ball up? I don't know. I wasn't here.
Yeah, right. I'm blaming it on Rand.
It was Rand's fault. Rand was asleep, and
Rand's the problem with doing all that stuff. No, I mean that's the thing. You saw. Let's stop this nonsense. Didn't Trevor Maddich go on today and say Will Levis is going to be the starting quarterback? I'm like, Trevor, you got to stop drinking on the air. He's not going to. Will Levis is not the answer.
Matthew in Nashville said he won't be able to launch it because of that massive jumbotron.
That's right. Forgot about that.
It would be like AJ Trapasso.
That's it. Good memory. Yeah. Because we thought it was Craig Hentrick and it was AJ Trapasso.
AJ Trapasso. 2009.
Yeah.
So that was right before they got Kern.
Because preseason.
Yep. That was the year that was the first time I think they had worn the Oilers throwbacks for the AFL because they were in the Hall of Fame game, and that's when Fisher ran that fake punt.
Look at you.
I don't know why I remember that.
That's great.
Ohio State.
Is that where he went?
Yeah.
I think you're correct on that.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a great fake punt.
It was awesome. And I'm like, why would you run this now?
Right. Well, they did it with Reggie Roby back in '97, same fake punt.
Yeah.
And Reggie Roby got some good yards on it. But no, that was great. But that's 2009 with all that. But nobody wants it.
Reggie Roby. There's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
Punter, Reggie Roby.
Yeah.
Yep. He wore a wristwatch on the sideline. I think he's passed away now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He ended up with the Dolphins, but he was here with the Oilers in '97. You know, it's funny looking back at that Oilers team in '97. There were some people in there like, who, what, how, huh? For that team, Reggie Roby is one of those guys. Before they got Yancey Thigpen too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
I'll just beat you to it. How about that?
For sure.
So I looked at again, we're in mock draft season.
Right.
It's my favorite. Projecting the NFL.com has the ideal top 2 picks for every team. So basically saying who, the ones that they think each team should pick with their first 2 picks.
Give it to us, baby.
For the Tennessee Titans, number 1 overall, Cam Ward, quarterback in Miami. All right. 35, JT Tuimoloau. Please don't draft him. I can't say his name. Edge rusher out of Ohio State.
Okay. Okay. I've never heard of him, but that means
he's
nothing.
Pretty good.
Okay. It's like you're reading a medicine bottle. Not sure what it was.
Something like that.
All right. In the division, like who the Colts have?
That's a great question there, Joseph. Let's see. The Colts have Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama at 14. At 45, Jordan Birch, edge rusher from Oregon.
Okay.
Jacksonville at 5, Mason Graham, the DT out of Michigan. At 36, Maxwell Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky.
Okay. I think your new coach wants to go offense, but anyway, go ahead.
And then Houston at 25 overall, Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon. And at 58, Charles Grant, offensive line out of William & Mary.
Really?
They do need offensive line.
Yes, they do. When they let Tunsil go like that.
Yeah.
Oregon's got a lot of players been talked about. Well,
good for them.
Cam Ward and the guy from Ohio State. What's his first name? Let's get JT.
Yeah.
All right, JT.
We can say JT.
All right. I mean, that's 2 needs. It's 2 critical needs on your football team. You don't have any pass rushers, and you need a quarterback desperately. So if you can get that, that's
I know.
good.
I just think I have talked myself into with that second pick. They've got to get a receiver, but I do that every year, and then they never take a receiver until the 5th round. And then they go, "Yeah, we addressed receiver." Well, no, we didn't.
But again, how many of those 5th and 6th rounders are going to contribute?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They want to sit there and go, "Oh no, we addressed receiver. We drafted Colton Dowell." We're like, who?
You watch your mouth. That's a Nashville boy.
I know. But
that's a Middle Tennessee boy right there. Look,
who has done what in the National Football League?
He was good. He's a good gunner. I mean, he put him on special teams. Yeah. He's doing good before he hurt his knee.
Yeah, I like Colton Dowell, but
evidently you don't.
Gotta get me something that will contribute right away.
I think,
I'm not sold on Bryce Oliver like they are.
No, and then I think the first 3 picks have to start.
Agreed.
Cam Ward.
If you get a 3rd round pick, right now they don't have that.
True. But Cam Ward has to be your starting quarterback in September. Don't tell me he's not. He's got to be. And there's no more sitting and waiting. It's not going to happen.
I mean, I still, I'm old school. I'm always going to be old school because, we've talked to Fisher about it. Floyd used to always talk about it of like, hey, here's Cam Ward. Take a good look. You'll see him in 2 years.
2 years.
I really wish it was still that way because I think there's a benefit to it. But I understand why it's not going to happen.
It's for example, you're a boss. All right. I come to you.
Allegedly.
I come to you with the greatest radio talent in America. I was like, we got him. You going to sit him for 2 years? No. I mean, I know it's an extreme example, but you want that guy to go right away, right? You want him to go right away.
Sometimes I wish I could sit Stillman for 2 years.
But they got to go right away. And you put him in, and then see what happens.
Right. It's just the way it is now. The contracts, and I mean, there's a Wookiee.
Did they sign a Wookiee?
Yeah,
I'd buy season tickets if they signed a Wookiee.
They signed Chewbacca. There's a rookie wage scale. Wookiee.
Oh my gosh.
So it's helped that some, but
Oh man.
I don't know. 615-737-1025. Coming up next, we're going to kind of shift back into weather mode for a bit. We're going to check in with Fox 17 reporter Madeline Nolan, who's been out and about this morning, kind of see how the conditions are with the floods and everything as the storms came through last night, continue to come through our area today. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We're at the Omni Nashville Hotel today. Nick Keiser is back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. We say hello now to our friend Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 reporter, who's been out and about all morning. Maddie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. So where are you right now? I know you were kind of back and forth between the field and the studio and watching the floodwaters and everything because, it's been pouring down rain in downtown Nashville where we are it just finally let up. But where are you now?
Yeah, we're kind of in the Belmead area, West Chase. We had to come back out here because those floodwaters, started to rise again. And so that's where we're kind of at right now. Looking terrible for some of these people out here. I do have to say, like, a lot of it is because of these creeks. So if you live by a creek, that is something to be a little wary about, because these creeks are filling up so fast, reaching new heights, something that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Have you seen a lot of storm damage, like from the wind? I don't think we had any confirmed touchdowns in our area with tornadoes, but what have you seen storm damage wise?
Right now, I feel like in our area, like Nashville and the surrounding areas, like what we have seen is mostly flash flooding. I know that there have been some reports of, trees down on cars and homes, but I've been really focusing on the flooding, which is definitely affecting a lot of people who are driving this morning. That is the big thing, or even people at their own homes being affected, that kind of thing.
Talking to Madeline Nolan, Fox 17. Madeline, what is the absolute worst you have seen since you started your shift?
I know earlier this morning it was Murfreesboro Pike. That has since receded, but that was something out of a movie because that whole block of Murfreesboro Pike, Lafayette Street, near Trevecca University. I'm sure you guys know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
South Nashville area. That was completely underwater. There was about 6 cars underwater there.
So where are you right now?
We are in this neighborhood called West Chase. It's really close to Belmead, kind of right on the line of Nashville and Belmead, because that's really where the river is. It's the Richland Creek.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
it is. Maddie, I've been seeing a video this morning of people driving around police tape that is up on roads. You're out this morning and you can tell us firsthand, please don't do that, right?
Yes, please do not do that. I've actually seen that myself too. They'll have, police cars kind of blocking off an area. I've seen people try to go around that. Definitely something that you're not going to want to do unless you want to get stuck.
Right.
Fox 17 reporter Madeline Nolan is with us. So when you went back to the station, what are your fine meteorologists saying? Because this isn't done. We're going to have a few more days of this.
Yes, a few more days for sure. I think the biggest concern is the continuous rain, especially for those smaller creeks. They can't really hold that much rain. So we're going to have a lot more flash flooding coming up. And then also I know that we did have some storm damage west of us, so closer to Franklin, Lieber, Spork area, those kinds of places. I'm not sure how they're doing right now. I'm gonna have to touch base with them later, but I do know that rain is still looking like it's gonna stay here until around Sunday. So definitely not excited about that.
Now, when did you start this morning? You normally come on at 4, but when did you get in this morning?
I got in around 2:30 this morning.
So right when it was all kind of coming into our area, she had to deal with that.
Oh yeah. After the 5th tornado siren, I was like, uh-oh, this is just not exciting.
No, not at all. Chase and I were talking earlier, Maddie, that tornado siren is the scariest sound in the world.
Literally the scariest. Even for me, who has covered a lot of this stuff, I was like, I don't like this. I'm really, really glad and thankful. I think a lot of people are thankful that the tornado did not touch the ground here. But with that said, we did lose, 3 people in these storms, mostly in West Tennessee. So very devastating, and I'm sure we're going to find out there's more reports of injuries even later today.
Well, we appreciate you taking some time. I know that you all are doing a bunch of coverage and you're out and about, but thanks for checking in with us and keeping everybody up to date on what's going on. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Fox 17 reporter Madeline Nolan joining us here on the Chasing Big Joe show. And again, if especially with all these floodwaters and the creeks and stuff like she was talking about, turn around, don't drown. It's very simple.
Well, that's the same thing what happened with the storm in 2010 when Mill Creek just absorbed all that water, had nowhere to go, and just flooded all the neighborhoods. Cumberland River flooded over there in Donalds. I mean, it was, man, it's something I'd never want to relive, and that's 15 years ago. But I got the same vibes, man, because there's more storms coming in, and just be very careful.
Well, and I can say this.
Say it.
I feel like this way that, there were probably some overreactions that led to some things in 2010 that I think people have learned from, when to release a dam and all that stuff. But you can't control Mother Nature and how much water comes out of the sky.
It was awful.
I know.
It was awful. And then
I was stuck in Murfreesboro. Like, I just knew, I was talking to my mom in Bellevue and my dad, and, the water was coming up to the back of the restaurant, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to come help me." I'm like, I can't get to you. like at 24 was
right.
I mean, pretty much every way that I would have gone
Yeah.
was underwater. And what was the school? Was it
Lighthouse Christian?
Lighthouse, yeah, that basically floated down the interstate.
Yeah, all the portables. Just
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
But I just remember sitting there. The sun's trying to peek out for a second, and it's gone. I remember sitting there watching, and Channel 5 had just gotten the helicopter. I don't think they had the helicopter very long. And I'm like, just in my head, I go, they're going to fly over my neighborhood. I'm going to see my mom and the dog sitting on top of the house,
waving at you.
Yeah. But
what's the neighborhood in Bellevue Plantation?
River Plantation. Yeah,
yeah.
My grandmother lived over there.
Awful. I mean,
it
was
literally
awful.
Backed up. It came to her front door.
That's the Harpeth over there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that took off, and then it was just all throughout the city for the next 3 or 4 days. It was just terrible.
Yeah. So appreciate Maddie for joining us here on the program. And again, throughout the day, we'll keep you updated. We'll talk sports. We'll have fun like we always do, but it is important to make sure that, and I know a lot of schools that didn't close, that were delayed, are now since closing. So you can kind of stay up to date on that. Fox 17 has it. We'll try and update school closings as we go along as well. But pretty much, I think all the major systems in our area elected to close for today, and a lot of the private schools have done so as well.
Smart move.
Yeah, just, when in doubt, stay out.
Look at you.
We like rhymes.
Did you come up with that?
I did. Yeah, probably.
You should
not, but
you should. What do you call that? Copyright that.
I could.
The same way Pat Riley copyrighted three-peat in the Lakers back in the 80s and all that. You could, so you do that. I'm making you money all the time, bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
What's your weather like in Chicago this weekend where you're going?
It's gonna be cold. Be a little chilly, in the 40s and high 30s.
Gosh,
so
there's no way I live in Chicago.
Yeah.
God bless you.
That's why I go for a weekend.
Oh man,
that's for sure. By the way, 8955. Thank you. There is a Wookiee rage scale instead of a rookie wage scale.
If they sign a Wookiee, if the Titans did, I'm season ticket holder day one. Baby. I'm over there.
They're probably listed this right now. Like, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, how big's Chewbacca? 7'5"?
Like 7'5", yeah.
Moves pretty well.
Yeah.
He's got an edge. He's got an attitude.
I can
put him in the middle.
I can just hear it now. Amy walks in the room. I heard them talking about a Wookiee. How do we get one of them?
Wait and see, man.
Can he play linebacker?
Bruce Matthews is almost a Wookiee with all that hair.
Oh, yeah. He was
on
a
his
hairy
back.
guy. That is for sure.
Show.
Tune in to 94.9 The Fan. Tonight is the Nashville Sounds take on the Baby Braves and the Gwinnett Stripers. Pregame begins at 5:50 and the first pitch at 6:05. I think the Sounds could probably beat the regular Braves.
We
right
need to
now.
talk about that.
Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and at theGameNashville.com. Do we have to? Sounds Baseball on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks and Family Leisure. Fine, we could talk about that. My pitiful Braves. Coming up next, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We do want to keep you up to date on things going on with the weather. There is a tornado warning for parts of Wilson and Trousdale counties. It looks like they were just kind of showing it, watching the streams here around Highway 231. Basically, the Lebanon area is what they're showing right now. So we'll keep you updated on that. Be safe. Get to your safe place. Nothing on the ground from what I can tell. Obviously, I'm watching without sound and trying to keep up with the best I can. But looks like there is a tornado warning for parts of Wilson and Trousdale counties until 10:15, and also Smith County, I believe. So it kind of looks, Joe, like it's basically following, 70 north, kind of going towards Carthage.
Look at you. You should be a weather person.
I almost was.
You should have done that. I couldn't do it because I can't do the green screen and looking at the monitor. I get all confused on that.
My problem was math, but yeah, I mean, I really, it was kind of looking that way for a while. I love the weather. Like I still there are even days where I think about I could go to Mississippi State for a year and a half and get certified and be a meteorologist.
Why don't you do that?
I don't know.
Then
be the sports meteorologist.
Then start off in Johnson City, Tennessee, making $8,000 a year. I'll get there one day. It's funny because all the weather coverage that goes on, and we're dear friends with Dan Thomas. I was talking to Dan one time. I'm like, man, you never get a break. It must be tired. He said, no, man, that's when you are in your element.
Oh yeah.
When you're tracking these storms, and that's when you don't look at time. You're not tired. You just go because there are lives at stake. And Dan Thomas does an amazing job of being a meteorologist.
Yeah. I mean, and look, there's so many that do. We're lucky to have some good ones in our city. Again, tornado warning for parts of Smith, Trousdale, and Wilson counties. Just kind of the I-40, 70, 231, all in that area. They just showed I got Channel 5 on the stream here. And they just showed a camera of the square in Lebanon. Almost looked like hail. But the rain really coming down. So just be careful. You listen to us, and again, that's until 10:15, and we'll just keep you keep you updated on that. I kind of feel bad switching to sports,
real quick. Do you know the difference between a watch and a warning?
Watch means conditions are favorable for what a tornado or whatever. Warning means that radar has indicated that there's something there.
You. Yeah, radar. Tornado has been sighted or indicated by weather radar. Watch is like, oh, okay, yeah. Warning, holy hell.
So
get ready.
My dad used to say the difference in a watch and a warning is a warning means get under the bed.
Right.
A watch means get ready to get under the bed.
You're right. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
It was funny when I was a kid. I was like 4 or 5 years old. During you mentioned River Plantation. That's where my grandmother lived. So we'd go to the pool all the time.
Yeah.
I was at her house every day in the summer going to the pool.
Granny, can we go to the pool? Granny, to the pool?
Yep, basically. And there would be day. By the way, they're doing a storm track on this 10:05 to Carthage. Is what they have this. So moving east in that direction. But there'd be days where we'd be there. There wouldn't be a cloud in the sky. And it would be sunny, but you know how it is around here that there are pop-up storms all the time.
Yeah.
I'd get out of the pool, grab my towel, and she'd be like, what are you doing? And I go, it's about to storm. We need to go. And she's like, Chase, it's sunny. We're fine. 5 minutes later, bam. It's like I could feel it.
Granny knows best.
No, I knew best. Like I could feel it.
Right.
So, but again, tornado warning, Wilson, Smith, and Trousdale counties until 10:15. As they're tracking a storm. Nothing imminent from what I can tell. Just some rotation is indicated on the radar.
Keep it that way then for a while.
Yes.
Just keep it going.
But I mean, that's the scary part. Like watching it last night, especially when you can hear it and it's right above you. And I saw some video of a friend of mine on Facebook from in the Bellevue, West Nashville area where you could see it dipping down of man, just stay up there.
You just never know, bub. Stay away from that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, but you never know. That's the problem. You don't know what's going to happen and when it's going to drop down. So always just be. But it's not going to stop for 2 or 3 days now.
No,
so being on and on and
but
on.
you,
and on and on.
but not to, add to the fear and all that stuff. But I didn't even think about it until you said it, of how eerie similar this is to 2010, because it started with severe weather. I mean, it started with tornadoes and all that stuff. I mean, we were dealing with that, and then the rain just stayed.
Well, not only that, the day before that, April 30th, we were all over at Baptist Sports Park because the Titans rookies were in town. They'd gotten drafted, and we were ready for that. And the next day they had practice. We're getting ready for the practice. And, of course, that didn't happen because the storm started raining. And it's also the Buffett concert was at Bridgestone. A lot of us were at that concert, and it led up for a little bit. Then it rained overnight, and then continued on Sunday and just took over. This, again, the feeling is the same, and I haven't felt this way in a long time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what it just.
You're just talking weather because you don't talk how crappy your baseball team is.
I mean, they're pretty crappy.
They're awful. 0-7.
They had I think they were up 5-0 and lost 6-5
last night.
Yeah.
To who?
The Dodgers.
Dodgers.
This guy, they're 8-0. This guy named Shohei Ohtani hit a little first pitch walk-off in the 9th.
The Dodgers, what's this payroll? They're paying guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's no salary cap in baseball, right?
No.
This is ridiculous.
There should be, but there's not.
Why should there be?
I mean, I say there should be, but there, every other sport has adopted that. It would create more parity.
Right.
Like like Atlanta's only going to spend so much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their owner, Liberty Media. I mean, they're only going to spend so much. The Yankees will spend whatever. The Cubs will spend whatever. The Dodgers will spend whatever.
How's that work out for the Cubs?
Yeah, they've got one championship.
Wow.
So it doesn't always work. But the Red Sox, I mean, there are teams that are like, whatever.
But didn't Ohtani defer most of his salary to when he's done playing?
Something like that. Yeah, there's
How is
something
that
weird.
legal?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or an agent.
I don't get it. All that.
I have no idea.
Well, at least I was looking at the American League Central. They're all under 500, so the Braves would fit in perfect there.
Yes,
How bad is baseball? ESPN's moved them off the main page.
Well, because ESPN's getting out.
So it's NFL, NBA, NHL, NCAA men, NCAA women, soccer, and then
yeah, I mean they're getting out. They decided to get out of their deal. They've had. I mean, baseball was like the first big thing they had.
Baseball tonight was fun to watch, and somehow they ruined it.
Yeah, touch them all. Web gyms.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was great. And Carl Ravitch had a sweet toupee back then. The one he had here in Nashville was kind of cool.
Yeah,
didn't match his sideburns, but it was nice.
I'd like to see you with a toupee.
We could arrange that
just once,
but I want it to be like awful toupee, like one of these Southern gospel singers. And they're toupees.
But see, I want you to do something where it's like you're trying to make it look natural.
Yeah.
But you just know it's not.
All right, I'll work on that.
And it just looks like
put it on there.
If you had like Conway Twitty's hair from like the 80s.
Yes. I would absolutely love Conway. I saw him one time up close, and I couldn't stop staring at that beautiful coif on his head. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll do that, man. I'll come in one day.
By the way, great use of the word coif.
Yeah, right?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Coming up next, history is close to being made in the NHL. We will talk to Greg Wyshynski. Also, keep you updated. There's a tornado warning for Wilson and Trousdale counties until 10:15. I think Smith County a part of that as well. It's been through the Lebanon area, moving towards Carthage, so we'll keep you updated on that. Greg Wyshynski coming up next, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game here on this Thursday. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, where we usually are every Thursday. Keeping an eye on the weather, as right now there are tornado warnings in Wilson, Smith, Trousdale, and now Clinton counties. I know some of those are set to expire at 10:15, so we will keep you updated on those. So just be careful out there. Keep your radio on. Keep an eye to the sky as we deal with severe weather in our area. But we say hello now to Greg Wyshynski, who joins us from ESPN. And Greg, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, man. Hope everybody stays safe out there. It sounds like some scary times happening in the skies.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough night. It was very loud throughout the night, but we're hanging in there. But I want to start with, I guess, the big story in the National Hockey League: 3 away for Alex Ovechkin. He's at 892. He is very close to breaking the record that I don't think anybody ever thought would be broken.
Well, first of all, it's funny he's 3 away. Nick Backstrom, who obviously played a huge role in him scoring so many of those goals and is currently on long-term injured reserve for the Capitals. He said the other day when we were talking to him, he's like, you have to be on alert because anytime Ovi wants to score a hat trick, he can score a hat trick. Well, now if he scores a hat trick, he's got the record. So it's kind of amazing for him to be that close. The unbreakable record part of this is interesting. Like I've talked to some people who swear they always thought that the Gretzky record for goals could be caught someday. I don't know if that's true. I know my colleague John Buchagras said back in like 2010 he thought Ovechkin had a shot. I always felt that if the goals record was going to fall, it would be after they fundamentally changed the way that the NHL plays. Like if they went 4-on-4 all the time, then maybe Gretzky's goals record falls. I certainly didn't think it would happen in this era. The fact that Ovechkin's doing it with these goaltenders, this kind of defense, this kind of coaching, and this level of speed and talent in the league, to me, that doesn't get talked enough about. Like the raw goal total is amazing, but the fact that he's done it now versus when Gretzky played, when goalies basically had 2 cigars strapped to their legs instead of pads. It was just like, I mean, it's a completely different era, and for Ovechkin to do it now and to break the record now is just remarkable.
I mean, we obviously know that he's got a Hall of Fame resume, and he was going to have it well before he even got to this point of breaking this record. But where does Ovechkin now go, once his career is done, when you're talking about the greats of all time? I mean, in 99, when Gretzky retired, they basically went ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, is he that status?
No, he's not that status, because you have to remember the other part of Gretzky's legacy is the fact that if you took away all the goals he ever scored and just went with assists, he'd still be the all-time points leader, which is one of the most insane stats maybe in sports history. His legacy is interesting because the thing about Ovi is that, the totality of his game was always under fire. Like there were times when people questioned whether or not the Capitals could win with a guy who didn't play defense well enough in Ovechkin. And when you look at this generation and you look at Crosby and you think about where Crosby's going to be in the top 10 players of all time, like he's clearly going to be in it because the perception is that he plays a full game. Now they play 2 different positions. And I think Ovechkin's job description is a little bit different than Crosby's overall. But the fact that he's not a quote-unquote 200-foot player, which I think he's been unfairly maligned as not being during his career, I think will probably put him on some list outside the top 10 when you think about Crosby and Gretzky and, some of the defensemen that'll be ahead of him too. But it's a great debate to have because we talked about this on our show, The Drop, the other day, me and Arda Ocal, and Arda's like, if you own like one of hockey's most cherished records, how the hell aren't you in the top 10? And I think there's going to be a compelling argument to be made about that.
Greg, I'm fascinated by this. So Ovi's got 892, 2 less of Gretzky. He's also played in 2 less games than Gretzky. At 1485, Gretzky did 1487. I just think there's a lot of weird things happening here. Is that a factor in Ovechkin trying to get this, in the same number of games that Gretzky did? Because it lines up perfectly.
It'd be awesome. And it is kind of remarkable, right? And I think that speaks to the incredible Russian machine that we're watching where, I think a lot of us thought if he was going to get Gretzky's record, it would be with a bunch of seasons where he's scoring like 15 goals on the power play and that's it. Like when he's like 42 or whatever. And that's not been the case. I mean, he's put the pedal down. He had the best start of his season as far as goal scoring that he's ever had in his career at 39, which is remarkable. To do it in as many games or in fewer games than Gretzky would be just mind blowing. But the hockey gods are kind of smiling, right? You have the Gretzky games total chase, and then looming on the horizon, although I think he'll probably get it before then, the last game of the season for the Capitals is against Crosby and the Penguins. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine he goes into that game tied with Gretzky, and like he needs one goal to break the record? He's playing Sidney Crosby in the last game of the season. I mean, that'd be insane. You could put that on pay-per-view.
Well, you brought it up, Crosby. I mean, he's the second active player with goals at 619. After him is Stamkos at 578. So this is a record that, we say it'll stand forever. I mean, this is going to stand for a while because there's nobody even close.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Austin Matthews' total the other night. I mean, it's high, but I mean, when you start extrapolating out where he is and his age, I mean, he might top out at like 600 or 700. And, you've got, I think if Connor McDavid ever decided he's just going to score 100 goals a season, he probably could, but he's got other things on his mind with Edmonton. We're having the same conversation we had when Gretzky broke it, which is, can you even imagine somebody coming close to this total? And inevitably somebody will, and they'll come along and, the conditions will be right for their style of play to fit perfectly. Maybe they have their own spot on the power play where they score over 300 goals. And someone will threaten it eventually, but it ain't going to be soon. I mean, like you said, a lot of the current players aren't going to be close. And don't forget, I mean, he's playing next year too. I mean, he doesn't retire the minute he breaks Gretzky's record. I think he's going to keep going until he tops 900 and keep on piling on from there.
Greg Wyshynski is with us here on the Chasing Big Joe show. I'm fascinated by, kind of watching the West. I think you know how it's all going to shake out. And obviously we know where the Predators sit in that conversation. The East, though, there's 2 weeks left. This thing could come down to the last day, couldn't it?
It could, yeah. I mean, you have the Rangers, Montreal, Columbus. You still have Detroit hanging around. The Islanders are pretending they're hanging around, but, who knows? The math's still maths for them, although they've gone into a real tailspin lately. The most interesting one for me is Columbus. I think if the Rangers make the playoffs, they're a little bit dangerous, but there's some fundamental flaws to this team, and they feel like a team anticipating a long, painful summer of transition for that roster. Detroit, listen, it'd be nice to see the Red Wings back in the playoffs, but they're not scaring anybody. And Montreal would be a great story, and I think next season is when they make the real jump, when they have this Davidoff kid coming over from the KHL, in theory. And so, like, they'd be a great story, too, and seeing Lane Hudson, who might be the Rookie of the Year in the playoffs, would be a lot of fun. But, I mean, listen, Columbus has got the story with the Gaudreau tragedy. They're a really fun team to watch. When they get that offense cranked up, man, like, they're clearly one of the teams to tune into on the streaming service to watch, because they could put 7 goals on the board without breaking a sweat. They're a lot of fun, and I'd love to see them in the playoffs. I think a Columbus-Washington series could be a lot of fun in the first round, with Columbus looking to be the giant killer again, like they were against Tampa a couple of years ago. So, they have some games in hand, I think, and they just need to put a few wins together and hopefully get over the hump.
If the Rangers miss the playoff, does Laviolette get fired?
So that's a good question. I think so is the answer, only because of how reactionary James Dolan, the Rangers owner, can be. And I think what we're going to see this summer, they've already traded away Trouba. They made the JT Miller trade in an attempt to kind of remake the attitude of the core of this team. I think Zibanejad and Kreider are both going to be 2 players that might not be here with New York next season. They're going to do a lot to remake the core into more of a JT Miller type team, which is why they've been flirting with the idea of trying to make a run at Brady Tkachuk. Being outside the playoffs with this roster, with the expectations they have, you imagine the coach pays for it with his job. I will reiterate that before he was hired and after he was hired, the name Joel Quenneville was linked to the New York Rangers. He's going to get back in the league in some way, shape, or form soon, now that Stan Bowman is the GM of the Edmonton Oilers and broke the seal on one of those disgraced Blackhawks executives getting a new job. So I do wonder if ultimately it could be New York, because I know that his name has been in circulation there before.
Greg, it seems like every year during this last part of the season, one team is just firing on all guns and cylinders, whatever. And the Blues, 10 straight.
Yeah.
We thought we had him here last week, and the Preds scored like 0.2 after the horn went off. But can they take this into the playoffs?
I mean, essentially, are they peaking too early? That's a good question, because I don't know the answer. I mean, it's possible. It's always possible that we've got like a good solid 2 weeks, week and a half before we get to the playoffs, or even more than that, I think. Look, they're an interesting hockey team, because they were once again, as Doug Armstrong teams can be, on the precipice of selling at the deadline. It didn't manifest. There was all this talk about Braden Shen being traded to the Leafs and stuff like that. Didn't happen. They get kept together, and then eventually they start playing unbeatable hockey under Jim Montgomery, which I think is why they bought him in. Not only because they coveted him as a coach when he was fired by the Bruins, but because they knew that, wherever he goes, regular season success seems to follow. And it took a while, but the Blues finally, clicked in, and everybody's playing well, and they're beating teams in a variety of ways. It's interesting in the West. There's still a chance that Dallas could jump up and take the top seed in the conference, which would probably be good for them to avoid Colorado in the first round, especially if all of a sudden Gabe Landeskog is back for the Avalanche and they get that kind of lift. But whoever plays the Blues in the first round, I mean, that's going to be a real tough first round series. They're a difficult team to play, and obviously we know from Four Nations that when Jordan Binnington is locked in, he could be one of the best goalies in this league.
Real quick, Greg, on the coaches again, when the season comes to an end, if guys like Peter Laviolette, we already know that John Tortorella is going to be available, and then even somebody like Mike Sullivan, if those three are out there, are those guys still at that point where a team might make a coaching move that they wouldn't have made 2 weeks before, knowing that they could get a Stanley Cup winning coach?
That's a good question. I mean, like, at this point, what is the value of Peter Laviolette? Like, he's bounced around a little bit. He didn't have success in Washington. He didn't have success in New York. Tortorella, I mean, is a very unique brand of whimsy. If you want to bring him into your organization, you know what you're getting. And again, the bloom came off the rose a little bit in Philly, where normally he goes into a situation and the goalies get better, even if they're terrible. But in this case, they just stayed terrible. Sullivan's a different situation, just because I think he's got the prestige of what he did with the Penguins, but he also has a very unique financial situation and the money that's owed to him on a contract extension that might not even have started yet. I don't think. I don't know if there's a guy out there that really is a game changer as far as like former coaches that won a cup, outside of maybe Quenneville, if they want to go down that road. But there is going to be some interesting names out there, assistants and college coaches, that I think are going to get some interest from teams that are looking to change up the mix. And we'll see which teams decide to make a move when the season ends.
That certainly going to be interesting for sure. Greg, appreciate it as always, and we will talk to you next week.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Greg Wyshynski joining us here on the program, presented by Old National Bank. Get old. Again, Old National Bank. Get old, and I'll always appreciate him.
You need to bring up the trade in the NFL. We talked about it last hour, but maybe this 10 o'clock hour didn't hear about it, because I'm reading more into it. I'm like, this is interesting.
We will revisit that coming up next. Also, continuing to watch some storms. Looks like the tornado warnings still going on to our east, so we'll keep you updated on that. Chasing Big Joe live from the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Thursday. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. And a reminder that the final four this weekend. All the updates presented by Toyota. Fuel your adrenaline at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Also brought to you by thenewcumberland.com, Twin Peaks, and Bet365. There was a trade this morning in the National Football League. One Joe Milton of Vols fame traded from the New England Patriots to the Dallas Cowboys, along with a 7th-round pick for a 5th-round pick.
I just saw I forgot who the Patriots signed, remember?
No.
Josh Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a plethora of Tennessee quarterbacks. All they need now is Quentin Dormady to get in that room. Quentin Dormady was terrible.
Yeah, he was not good.
Throw off his back foot, 2017.
So Milton, Hooker, and Dobbs are the only.
Garantano made a practice squad.
He's in the UFL.
Okay. All right. Well, good for him.
And I mean, do you count in what was his
Is
name?
that Nathan
Peterman? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. That guy's been in the
Mr.
league
Peterman?
longer than Manning has, just about. I vaguely remember him in Tennessee. I always thought Tyler Bray. I know he spent time with the Chiefs, but never really played much. He had a cannon of an arm, but never found the right fit for him to be a good quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's not a big deal that he got traded to Dallas, but I mean, it's still good for him. I mean, I think it's probably a better situation.
Absolutely. You don't have to have Vrabel screaming at you all the time.
You overthrew it by 20 yards.
Yeah, right. You hit Mr. Kraft. How dare you?
He was dancing anyway.
Yeah. Getting a massage. How dare you?
Let's go to our phone lines, everybody. WilsonCountyHonda.com, 615-737-1025. The Donut Man, Clay, has called in. Clay, good to know you didn't get blown away last night.
Boys, Joe, I'm late calling. I told Nick I'm late. You said 9:30.
Yeah.
It's been a little crazy, kind of a crazy night, boys.
Why do you keep asking me what time to call? And I tell you what time to call, and you don't call when I tell you to call.
You call whenever.
Well, I've been busy, Big Joe. I mean, I've had like an hour of sleep, sirens going off all over the place in the, Belmead area close to where I live. West End is completely flooded out. The road is closed. We've got some problems.
Well, listen, don't all you rich people in Belmead have butlers to handle this stuff for you?
Anyway, can we talk some sports, boys?
Of course.
Tennessee Titans, how about that?
Sure.
Oh, man. Can you name 5 players on the Titans, Clay?
I probably can, yeah.
All right, go.
Will Levis.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see. It's not a player.
Eddie George.
Come on, Big Joe. You're putting me on the spot here.
That's okay. It's all right, man.
Dang it, Bobby.
Clay, what do you want to talk about, Bubba?
Are they going to draft? I'm hearing a lot about Cam Ward, them drafting the Miami quarterback with that number 1 overall pick. There was a lot of chatter about that yesterday. Supposedly, Amy's been down there and had a private sit down with him. I mean, yeah. All right, let's say they do sign him. Let's say they do. So you've got Will Levis and Cam Ward. So what's your approach going through the preseason, and then more importantly, for opening day? I mean,
lots of prayer.
My approach, Clay, is Will Levis won't be on this roster. If they draft Cam Ward, they will figure out a way. They'll either cut him or they'll trade him. But Levis won't be on the roster. They have Brandon Allen, who they signed as a backup, and they have Tim Boyle, who they signed. So they'd be carrying 4 quarterbacks. I don't see them doing that going into camp. They might, but I don't think. I think it would be detrimental to Ward and to Levis if Levis is still on the team.
Yeah, I did not know about those other two guys. I don't really pay much attention to football, in the spring with Fridge and all that, because I'm so focused on basketball. But that makes sense. Will Levis, I think he's colorblind. He likes to throw the ball to the other team.
Clay, are you going to? Who's your Final Four pick this weekend?
I had the Florida Gators from the beginning. I had 3 of the Final Four right. The one I missed was the Clemson Tigers. I went on a hunch because I think Brad Brownell is a great coach, and here they lost to McNeese State. Great pick, huh?
Will Wade.
It's all right, though. So you got Florida going all the way. Okay, that's a good pick. You got to get by Auburn, though, on Saturday.
I had Florida and Duke in the championship game.
Where did you do your bracket?
I'm in a bracket with my sister and brother-in-law and his family, just for fun, like 12 people. No money involved.
Amusement only, right?
Correct.
Yeah, bragging rights.
Got to save money. Got to save money for donuts.
Well, you got to save money. Are you going to the Vanderbilt spring game next weekend?
Okay, I'll answer that question this way.
Oh, that's right. You can't.
I went one time when Bobby Johnson was the coach, and I was so bored I stayed about 10 minutes and left.
Yeah. Seems about
Wait,
right.
are you allowed to go to the spring game if you wanted to or no? I don't think you are.
No, that's in Vanderbilt Stadium.
Yeah, you can't go. All right.
Yeah,
do they have pictures of you hanging up on campus?
How you should do the Bobby?
Maybe a DUPD. Yeah,
you should do the Bobby Valentine fake mustache and hat and sit in the dugout, that kind of thing, where they won't recognize you. Problem is,
glasses, hat turned backwards, look like a gangster. Maybe they won't recognize you.
Problem is, you are so loud they'll hear you 10 minutes before you arrive.
Now, Joe, did you get my text last night about enough is enough? And I was laughing about that post you put on Facebook, that reel.
Yeah, right. You like it, huh?
That was funny.
Thank you.
That's good. Clay, we got to go now.
See you, boys.
Thank you, Clay.
All right, so now I've got a question. Is this true? Amy met with Cam Ward?
I think I did see that she was a part of the contingent.
So let me ask you. Amy takes Cam Ward. She's cheap. She probably takes him to Jersey Mike's. What's the first question she asks when they sit down? I want to know the first question Amy Adams asked Cam Ward.
That's great. 615-737-1025. We want your answers.
Yes.
That's fantastic. We'll do that and talk about that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025-1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, the game on this Thursday. Tune in later tonight, 102.5 the game. Vandy Baseball will take on Oklahoma. Pregame at 6:45, the first pitch at 7. Also available in the Game Nashville app and the GameNashville.com. We're live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, proud sponsor of this here program. Appreciate Clay for calling. So what would
Gave us a topic.
What would Amy Adams Drunk ask Cam Ward?
First question. Go to our text line. Let us know.
So how did you like Miami?
737-1025. Is Cam short for Cameron?
Now, if I was the owner, the first question I would ask, so why did you transfer twice? Why did you transfer from Incarnate Word to Washington State? Why did you transfer from Washington State to Miami?
That's what you would ask?
Yeah.
That's so boring. No, don't do
Why
that.
is that boring?
To get your first question,
I want to know what he'd say.
you can get it down.
I
the
know
line.
why. I know why.
Why?
Money, baby.
Oh, okay.
But like, I want to know what his rationale was.
Amy would be like, "Do you do Wordle?" Because she's going to ask something so random to be cool, right? There's a lot of ways.
Incarnate Word, is that like the Immaculate Grid?
Isn't Incarnate Word in Houston?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember you from Houston.
Diddy's from Houston.
Oh, this is not a good time. We can there's a lot of ways to go here. Most of them ending with us losing our job, but that's all right.
I know. But
But it's going to be awkward, right? You're sitting across from a lady who's worth what, $3 billion?
Probably.
I'd be like, "Where's that money?"
I mean, probably more than that because the team's worth.
oh
you know,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
didn't think about that.
look, if she sold this thing tomorrow, I don't care what anybody says, it's not going for any less than $6 billion. It's an NFL franchise.
I don't know if it goes that high.
Washington just did.
It's Washington, though. This is the crappy Titans. I think she gets $4 billion.
What? No, I think 6. I really do.
Really?
I just think that's the value.
I don't know, man.
Because again,
You get
it's
$4
what
billion.
it's what you take, not what necessarily it's worth. Like I couldn't, but like if I had $4 billion, go to her and say, "Hey, I'll give you $4 billion for it." Nope, I want 6.
You drive up in your Rogue. I drive up my my Buick Encore. Hey, how we doing today?
Hey, we're gonna see if we can get a loan on this. What would you take?
How much you need? $4 billion. Get out. I'm really curious about this because it's not a one-on-one dinner, right? I mean, it would be all
No.
these other people around.
No, but I mean, like if I think about it, like if I'm the first overall pick, like I probably want to meet the owner. I mean, like,
but did she call for this?
I don't
Amy
know.
met with him.
I don't
Now
know.
I'm all fascinated.
I have
by
no
this.
idea.
Where do you think they went?
Logan's Roadhouse.
Somewhere in Miami.
Shoeless.
All right. Is there a Chiba Hut around here?
Have
Go
you?
there.
Have you
No.
ever had Whataburger?
Or
Sorry.
this is even better when the waiter comes. 1 check or 2. You know she said. 2.
We're separate.
Waiter said, Cam's like, damn, I don't have any.
No, or even better, she'd be like, "He's buying. He went to Miami."
Right. He's like, I got no money. Oh, man. I would love to have been a fly on the wall for this. I would just be fascinated by the questions.
But again, like, I mean, I think for something like this, you want the owner to be there once.
yeah, I guess.
I mean, the owner should meet.
Do we
Do
we
what
have
she's paying
some-
for?
do we have some good ones on the text line, I hope? Maybe.
No, nobody's.
That one. Come on, y'all.
I think a lot of people are off today and
Okay.
focused on other things. I get it.
All right. Well, that's it, man. That's a little fun with that.
Oh wait, no, we do. I had to. Okay, here we go.
Our audience never lets us down.
This is a good one. 0247. First question. Can you promise no condiment commercials?
See, that's great.
Nevada Josh, they went to IHOP. Kids eat free 4 to 10 p.m.
Oh God, yes.
Very important. This is 0911. Very important. What a way to end your number. Very important question. Do you listen to 1025 The Game, particularly in the mornings with Chase and Big Joe? Amy listens, according to Joe.
That was a long. Is that a question?
Scott in Hendersonville, will you come to Houston? What church do you attend, Cam?
That's a good one.
Lenny. Brian says Amy's so out of touch with reality, she would probably have to ask him what position he plays. Else she would probably think he was interviewing for another job.
Oh my God!
Is this the one that's going to replace Robbie? Sorry.
No, that's funny. Oh, I got some good ones, but oh man. Oh, shoot that thing.
Wes in Clarksville. Cam, do you think you could adjust to having 3 different coaches and 3 different GMs? 1049 says, what does your relationship with mayonnaise look like?
These are great. Oh, man.
Brian, have you ever stolen crab legs?
Oh, this is so good.
Ron, now, can you play football?
Oh, my stomach's hurting now.
Patrick, you from around here? Gene from Spring Hill. First question. So what position do you play? Amy asked this is Kevin. Amy asked what jersey number he wants, and does he prefer Prince's or Hattie B's?
Oh my Lord.
Are you anything Amy, are you anything like Vince Young? If not, we can go get him. Andrew from Dover. Cam, what do you think about making Will Levis your tight end?
Oh, these are great, man.
Scott in Hendersonville. Can you do a press conference for me? Hell, they didn't let the free agents do one. He probably won't even get one.
Right? Oh my gosh.
The what position do you play?
Oh no, you had the best one. That's the best one. Are you here to replace Robbie?
Chris says, Amy says, let's say theoretically, Cam, there was a sinking ship on a dock. Would you jump on?
Oh, yes.
1178. How do you handle annoying media members like the one we have that comes on at 2 p.m.?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, these are so good. Keep them coming. We'll read a few more. It's 615-737-1025. I needed that after last night.
Right.
Right now, as we get ready for what day is it in celebrity birthdays, caller number 3. We'll go Jeremy Lozon today. Caller number 3, 615-737-1025 will win a pair of tickets to see the Preds take on Montreal this Sunday at 6 o'clock. Caller number 3, 615-737-1025. What day is it? Celebrity birthdays coming up next here on Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. It's time for the 4th annual 615 Open Charity Golf Tournament. Cromwell Media, along with our partners at Fox 17, Outfront Media, and Social Indoor, proud to announce we'll be back at the Hermitage Golf Course Thursday, May 29th to make a difference while having a great time. You can join us and a few guest media members, athletes, and musicians as we raise money for Folds of Honor. Donations will go to provide life-changing scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. You can sign up to play or sponsor just by going to 615open.com. Really looking forward to this. One of our favorite events that we do. So go to 615open.com. These responses on what Amy Adams Strunk would ask Cam Moore. Let's get a few more real quick. B-Man says, Cam, can you throw it in the lake, please? Amy asks Cam how much he would pay them for the Titans to take him number 1 overall, and if he would do mustard commercials. Wes in Clarksville, Cam, do you like sleeping on planes? I feel like we're doing the top 10 list from David Letterman.
Oh, this is great.
Lenny, do you plan on buying a home or renting? Choose wisely. Patrick, Amy to Cam, are you related to Warren Moon? Y'all look alike.
Oh.
Nevada Josh, are you looking for a full-time or a part-time position?
You guys are amazing. Thank
Kevin,
you.
Amy would ask Cam, did you see a lot of dolphins down in Miami? I just love dolphins.
That might be the most legit question right there that Amy would ask him.
Is Amy like somebody's mama? Like,
yeah,
what?
She is.
Come on, dog. Oh boy. With that, let's get to what day is it at celebrity birthdays.
You guys a fan of Long John Silver's?
Not really. But,
well,
I mean, it's okay.
It's fish fingers and custard day, by the way.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? What a great lunch for a crappy day. But all right, then it's don't go to work unless it's fun, which we're having fun, right, fellas?
Right, buddy.
Yes, we are.
And on the bright side of it all, it's also Find a Rainbow Day.
We're looking for one.
We
with all
are.
the stormy weather.
Every day.
We are indeed. That's all I got for you guys this morning. Big Joe,
Thank you.
celebrities.
That's it? That's all you had?
Oh, I should probably read this too. Celebrity birthdays and what day is it? Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards. Visit them at jarrettcompanies.inc.com.
You left off National Burrito Day, National Chocolate Mousse Day, Pony Express Day, National
Yeah, he's
Film
trying to
Score
get
Day.
us
Yo,
to get out
I'm
on
competitive. I'm trying to win celebrity birthdays,
I
Big
know.
Joe. Come on.
I know.
now.
I know, Pumpkin.
Donaldson's finest. Come on.
That's
now.
right. All right. Time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these within 2. Our first birthday. Oh, yes. Donka Shea himself. Wayne Newton. How old is
Oh, wow.
Wayne Newton?
93.
95.
Close. 83. Not
Okay.
bad, though.
All right.
The most miserable man in the world, Alec Baldwin. How old is Alec Baldwin today?
72.
69.
67.
Nice.
Job, Dr. Crane, on the board with that one. Well
Not
done,
Dr.
man.
Crane.
Yeah.
Whatever your name is.
The reporter.
Get outta here.
I'm locked in. Eddie Murphy. How old's Eddie Murphy?
He likes to party all the time.
He's got like 11 kids.
66.
67.
64. Chasers tied it at 1. Good job, Chase. Proud of you,
Thank you.
buddy. Ben Mendelsohn, the actor who's in a bunch of y'all little Marvel nerd movies. He's set to reprise his role as director Krennic in the 2nd season of Andor, whatever the hell that is.
It's Star Wars.
Oh, is
45.
54.
How'd you say?
54.
56. Keezer's up 2-1. Proud of you, Keezer. I'm really proud of you. All right,
Good
going
job.
down the line. Oh, from 90210, Jenny Garth. She's looking,
she's
nice.
pretty.
Hello, Jenny.
54.
45.
53. Chase ties is at 2. Adam Scott. His best role was the brother in Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah. 53.
44.
52. Chasers up 3-2. Like this. You guys are popping on the outside there. Don't know who that is. Don't know this. That is Rachel Bloom. You heard of her? She voices a Simpsons character.
Does she?
Doesn't say which one. We'll skip over that, though. Nobody knows who that is. Paris Jackson, Michael's daughter.
25.
47.
27. Chase up 4-2. Play the music.
Where'd our music go?
Singer Tony Orlando. Not with Dawn.
Not that
Wrong
music.
song. Tony Orlando. Tie a yellow ribbon around Keezer's neck if you can't play the song correctly.
I didn't hear who you said.
Tony Orlando. Tie a yellow ribbon.
56.
57.
81. Guitar player Mick Mars of Motley Crue.
76.
81.
69.
Nice.
Actor David Hyde Pierce from the show Frasier.
Niles.
We got some great birthdays coming up.
I know. Well, he's trying to get us out of here because I'm sure.
We're not. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Remember who the boss is, Keezer. Let's see. I'm going to say he is 58.
62.
Who do we say here?
David Hyde Pierce.
He's 66. Singer Sebastian Bach of Skid Row. I remember you.
60. Say 60.
69.
57. Actress Amanda Bynes. I'm not giving up till we're done here. It's 42. 42 Chase.
You're just going to
I'm not. We got time. I'm watching the clock, man.
40.
37.
39. Chase up 5-2. We got sports birthdays now. Bernie Parent, NHL player.
Bernie Parent.
Parent?
Played with Crispy. 79.
81.
He's 80. That's a push. Former Sounds and Milwaukee Brewers Sounds pitching coach Chris Bosio.
55.
47.
62. Never Nervous Purvis Ellison led Louisville to the national championship in 1986.
61.
55.
58. Former Georgia ball player Rodney Hampton played running back for the New York Giants.
56.
51.
56 dead on. Chase up 7-2. Final birthday Hall of Famer Jared Allen.
Lives here, I think.
Lives here. I believe you are correct on that, Chase.
47.
55.
43. Chase wins 7-2. Good job.
Brought to you by Jarrett Companies Inc. JarrettCompaniesInc.com. That's going to do it for us.
Hey, as we leave the show all the time, look, we had the storms roll through last night. Check on everybody. Check on your friends. Let it also be a lesson to check on your friends when there's not a storm coming through. When you haven't heard from them in a while, check on them. If you need to talk to somebody on your cell phone, you can call or text 988. Somebody is always there to talk to you. Please reach out if you need to talk. Remember, we love you, and more importantly, more than anything else, God loves you.
Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. Stay safe out there. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.